Hello. I'm just streaming. I don't really have anything particularly new to say, but I can always think of something, can't I? And I went shopping, and I went to the supermarket, and I noticed that the shelves. And the thing is, should I talk about it? I mean, is my even mentioning it going to exacerbate the situation? And should I not mention it in order not to exacerbate the situation? When I've been saying for a while now that things have to get worse before they get better, and if I make things worse by reporting to you what happened to you when I went to the supermarket, you might all, go and do the same thing. So I basically went to the supermarket. I thought, oh, well, the usual things aren't there. The shelves are strangely not very well stocked, and usually there is a time when it's not very well stocked, and it's usually quite late in the shopping day, or at a weekend or something. And I didn't actually even think anything of it, and then until I came across two elderly ladies, and I'm sure they weren't old enough to have lived through the war, but they sort of joked, "Is there a war on?" Referring to the relative emptiness of the shelves, and I thought that was quite amusing. But I mean, the point was that I managed to get all the things I could that I needed, and I'm very happy about that. When you haven't had well, I just had this particular craving for spinach and orange, and I'm just very pleased with the oranges I've got. Really sweet and juicy and delicious, and with a particular flavour. I don't know. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's a bit boring. But this orange I've had, it's just absolutely delicious, and so it's been quite a rewarding shop, really. I got all the things I wanted, and on my way back, it's like, oh, there's a split in my bag, and I think I might it might split before I get home, and it didn't. So I was happy about that, and and really the most interesting thing about it was on my way back, a schoolboy came up to me and said to me, "Am I all right? Do I look all right?" And I said, "Well, you look fine to me." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, well, it was just basically I've been in a boxing match, and I was just wondering if I looked bruised or hurt in any way." And I looked at him closely, and I said, "No, you look fine." And and said, "Yeah, you're apart from this little thing over this little nick on your eyebrow, which I just assumed was an old scar, you look fine." And he thanked me and went on his way, and I said, "Well done." And I thought, why did I say well done? Was it really, or what? I just assumed that when he said boxing match, he meant, I don't know. I thought he meant a fight, and I, sometimes you say things and you don't, you just do this sort of standard thing, and you don't even know what you're saying, and then you think, well, why am I saying well done to a boy who's probably just been in a fight, and he might have beaten somebody up, or he might have been in a scuffle, but I don't know. Maybe he was okay. This is what I'm trying to say. I think this is he didn't want to go home looking all bruised and battered and cause consternation, to his mother or something. And I understood what he was trying to say, and I was basically saying, "You look fine, mate. You look fine. Don't worry about it." And but it came out as well done, for looking okay, for not getting bruised and battered in your fight, and I thought, what a curious encounter. I wonder if other adults have ever had this request made of them, like, from some schoolboy who's just been in a fight, whether it was a proper boxing match or not. I don't think it was a proper boxing match somehow. I think it was some sort of after-school scuffle. But yeah, he looked all right, a robust looking boy. And he thanked me politely, and we went our separate ways. And yeah, and I'm sure nobody would have noticed. So this is my short little stream, hoping that you will. I guess you're already subscribed onto my other channel, Yayo Mama, but I just wanted to share with you this little shopping expedition of mine. And yeah, while I was unpacking my shopping in the kitchen, I was listening to the news, and on the news it was PM on Radio 4, and they would think, oh, Italy, yikes, pasta, where are we going to get our pasta from? And actually I managed to get my pasta at the supermarket, so I'm all right for that. Yeah, what I wanted was rice, and I couldn't get a bag of rice big enough, but I'm sure the next time I go I will be able to. I guess we want to talk about panic buying, and I was just talking to a Singaporean friend recently, and she was saying that her friends, some of her friends were caught short, and they were without toilet paper, and then they went to all the shops, they couldn't find it, and then they thought, I'll ask for it to be delivered, and it was delivered, no problem, the very same day. So it really wasn't anything, much. It was just a stupid panic buying. And I don't know what advice to give to you. I'm not panic buying, because I guess I've just done my shopping, so I can't, I'm not going to be panic buying. I mean, I could be panic grocery ordering, but I'm not going to do that, because obviously I don't want to encourage a situation that I don't want to happen, but then I don't want to withhold from you the that there's just a hint of panic buying, but I don't think it's anything to worry about, because basically I really think people are just going to get bored of this panic and then say, look, we can't carry on like this. Too much business is being lost. If some people are going to die, then we'll just have to, take it on the chin and keep calm and carry on. And I'm just waiting for people to regain their senses. It's like, yeah, so, it's a virulent strain of flu, and now apparently more people outside China than in China have got it, and they just can't shut down everything. It's just stupid, and if you look at the statistics of the people dying, you'll see that it's mostly elderly people, a few young people, but then young people die of this and that, and well, as I keep saying, the bubonic plague didn't kill off the Europeans, and they carried on. They went on to fight the European War of Religions and the European Wars of Unification after the Napoleonic Wars, and then the First World War and the Second World War. So yeah, I mean, it didn't exactly kill the Europeans off, did it? So I wouldn't worry about it. And I'm just so sick of this overreaction. And I'm afraid that, the Chinese are different people now. Because everybody thought, they're just going to, hide it and treat it like nothing. And I kind of thought they would too, and then they just overreacted. And it's because of their one-child policy, and I know a lot of you sort of talk about degeneracy in terms of race mixing and all that, but I'm saying that you can cause degeneracy in your own race without race mixing by having a slightly different policy to what it was before, like the one-child policy. And this would make your army of men practically useless, because the government would be really too risk averse to wage any imperialistic war, because of all the upset mothers, whose only child is their only, happens to be their only son, and you can't just sort of sacrifice them in war. So this is not something the Chinese are going to do, just because of that reason alone. Of course, they'll fight a defensive war because, obviously honour is involved. But and these are the ways that you can kind of gauge the national character, not by just going back on it, trying to find out its history, or thinking up weird racial theories. It's got to be historic as well as contemporary, as well as taking into account social, educational and economic factors of a particular nation. And I'm afraid the West is also very risk averse, simply because it is a senescent population, and the older you get, the less prepared you are to take risks. You'll be thinking of your pension and your aching old bones, and you won't be taking any risks. But if most of you were young men, then you would be, I guess, explorers, imperialists, people who are game for a bit of a undertaking in terms of exploration or whatever. Hopefully it'll be a calculated risk, and it will turn out well. But the national character is not basically a matter of race. It's really about current contemporary factors of what the average age of your nation is, and of course the preponderance of the average age is going to determine your national character, as well as which sex has the balance of power, and so for the West, the balance of power, it is the typical voter is represented by the 40-year-old female who will be a single mother. So you can just think of a typical person, woman like that, and how hard it would be to reason with her, really. So this is something you might want to bear in mind. So I'm just getting you used to the routine of my alternate streaming from now on. Obviously I'll give you a snippet of this and that. It doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be political. There are 4 people watching now, but I that's kind of more or less what I want to say. And this flu thing, I've had very bad flu once, and then I thought it was the worst flu, and somebody said, oh yeah, I had the flu and I had a stomach bug as well. So I guess if you're a bit sickly, it might well finish you off. But come on, we got to keep moving. We can't lock everything down and cause all these businesses to fail because a few extra people might die. It's just crazy. Crazy. So stop it. And I guess eventually, once I've had enough of running around like headless chickens and they've exhausted themselves pretending to care, then we might just have something resembling a sensible policy of keeping calm and carrying on. So, thank you for listening. And my next stream will be on the other channel. But oh yeah, and I've got quite a few new subscribers, so I'm very pleased about that. And I'll keep doing this to and fro thing to, obviously, spread the risk, because you just don't know what you're going to get done for hate speech, and they never tell you. So, thanks again for taking an interest in my adventures of the day.